some brown ease. It was April Fool's Day after all. Conor is a thoughtful, outgoing, and friendly young man who treats everyone he meets with kindness and respect. On a depressingly dark day last December, Writer's Craft students note the alliteration, Miss Macklin received a mysterious package with peanut butter Rice Krispie squares and 6 boxes of Kleenex. When she asked around, none of her students took any credit for this thoughtful gift. Although Conor wanted to remain anonymous, Mr. Rhodes had convinced him that Miss Macklin was going crazy, not knowing who had left her the mysterious package. When she asked Conor the reason for the gift, he explained that when Miss Macklin was teaching him 3 years before in grade 9 science, she had told him that December was a difficult time of year because of family memories and the winter blues. So he thought that some illicit peanut butter and something practical such as Kleenex might cheer her up. Conor Russell has a heart of gold. It is an honor to introduce the scholar, the athlete, the thespian, the lover of cats, baking, and practical jokes, Burlington Central's class of 2015's valedictorian, Mr. Conor Russell.
Hey everyone! So, before I begin, I wanted to let you all in a little secret. These past years, you've known me as Conor Russell, but that isn't my true name. Some of you have seen it in all its 11-letter glory, but as it turns out, this monstrosity of a name audibly amounts to little more than a bad cough. The pronunciation was revealed to be my Miss Robbins, who, upon seeing my transcript, decided to look it up. A lot of you have asked over the years how to pronounce it, and since I didn't properly know myself, couldn't satisfy you. But today, I stand in front of you not as Conor Russell, but as Russell. See, it's a bad cough, okay? And what's worse is that in this new life as Russell, every time someone coughs, I have to assume they're calling my name. You know what I'm saying? You need me? Yeah? No? Anyway, I figured I've been with some of you since Little Central, and at the very least, on this day, commencement, you all deserve to know what I was really called. Some of you I only met this year, having only recently been welcomed into the chosen family, but regardless of time, I'm just so happy to be seeing everyone together once again. It was weird walking back into the school. It seems so small now, so familiar. I remember the first time I walked into Central, I thought I'd never find my way around. We thought Central was huge, vast, and unknowable. The size intimidated us, but we conquered it, all 357 breathless steps. There was the change that scared us, the new setting. We've all grown with one another these past years, and now we're being forced to grow up in different settings with different people. Well, unless you're at Guelph, then it's pretty much central. Change can be daunting, as many of us have already experienced, but we mustn't face it with fear, but excitement. Change is paradoxically the only constant in our lives, and we gotta embrace it with a smile. In a way, stepping into the future is a lot like stepping into Central for the first time. The future is also vast, unknowable, and intimidating, but I'm sure we'll conquer that too. Now, one thing that took me a while to conquer was writing the speech. I kept putting it off, you see, because every time I picked up that pen and began to write, I was starting to get a little choked up. So this morning, when I started writing, start surrendering. I couldn't stop thinking of all of you. The problem was, I kept thinking of this speech, this night, commencement, graduation, as an end. An end to all the wonderful times we've had together. I know that, in a way, it's already ended. Many of us have moved on from Central, to college, university, or the workforce. And some, myself included, are still lingering about these hallowed halls, uncertain of our paths. So, I'd like to view tonight as less an end, but as a recognition. A recognition of our time here at Central, a school with nearly 100 years of memories that we were able to contribute to in our own unique Class of 2015 way. And we did. As a class, we contributed some great things. Between crazy floodlights, fun robotics competitions, delicious pancake and waffle fundraisers, and catchy musicals, oh my god you guys, I still listen to that soundtrack on my iPod. The Class of 2015 has left its mark in Central history. And even though we didn't win nearly every sports competition, we never lacked in team spirit, and we never failed to have a good time. But as a class, we're also known for our less tangible feats. Teachers have commented on how well as a grade we got along. Comparably, we were a great bunch of kids. And I agree. When wandering around the halls, it felt like you could just go up and talk to anyone. It's funny, I actually enjoyed coming to school in the mornings. I'd like to say it's because I'm always eager to calculate logarithms at 8:15 in the morning, or take on 5 projects simultaneously, but in reality, it was all of you that made coming to school so enjoyable. I look forward to laughing and learning with all of you during the day, and that's something I'm going to miss. I'm also really, really going to miss Thursdays, when we pass around free bread during lectures. Yeah, we were awfully eager to be in that freshman 15 early, weren't we? However, I think the person I'm going to miss most of all is that one cat that would sometimes wander into the school during lunchtime. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What a cutie. And of course, I'm going to already miss, all of you. Because a school is made up of more than its ancient brick walls, its lack of AC, its broken clocks, and violently overused and outdated textbooks. A school is made up of the people that fill it, and Central is a school filled to the brim with kindness, talent, and love. I did, and still do, have the crippling fear that without school forcing us together, I'll be seeing less and less of some of the most beautiful, talented, and kind people I've had the privilege of spending my time here at Central with. And I'm not just talking students. This school is filled with such wonderful characters, asking its hardworking teachers, administrative staff, caretakers, and even volunteering parents. But I suppose it's selfish of me to want to keep you all within arm's reach. It's time I stop aggressively hugging all of you and finally share you with the rest of the world. But I've learned, as have most of you, the world can be a bit annoying. The world likes to ask you questions like, where are you going off to school? What do you want to be? What are you going to do with your life? Now, cutting the world some slack, these are perfectly valid and important questions. But sometimes it feels like no one cares what our favorite color is anymore, or like our favorite ice cream flavor. I think that we all miss being 7. I said as much to a wise adult I spoke to over the summer, and she gave me some sage advice. If you want some ideas of which direction to go with your life, start by looking at your heroes. This seemed to be insightful counsel. If you have an icon that does things worthy of your admiration, surely they'd be a great source of inspiration for your own life. Only problem is, I wasn't sure who or what I admired. When I was young, I used to admire famous people, funny people, brave people, or intelligent people. But as I've grown older, I've come to truly admire kind people. Suffice to say, I've come to truly admire all of you. I have felt firsthand, repeatedly, the kindness of this school from its staff and students, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. This is a school that cares, and in the end, I think that's what I want to be, like all of you. Kind. That might seem like a cop-out, a lame answer to an age-old question, and you're not wrong. What we choose to do, in terms of careers and jobs, definitely impacts our life. But who we choose to be is what impacts the world and those around us. So when looking at your heroes and deciding what you want to do with your life, look at their attributes, their character, because ultimately, it's who they are, who we are, that matters. But I'm not a coin machine here to dispense advice every time someone hands me a shiny quarter. One, I'm not qualified, and two, you don't need it. Central has taught us all we need to know. We've been equipped, through all our classes, with valuable life lessons that's going to see us through our darkest days. In drama, we learned improv, to listen, say yes, to live in the moment. In biology, we learned that all biological systems are in the business of obtaining equilibrium, just as we start to find balance in our own lives. In chemistry, we learned the law of conservation of mass, that you only get as much product as you put into the reaction, just like how we can only achieve tremendous feats if we put in equally tremendous amounts of effort. In music, we learn cooperation, that you can take vastly different notes and chords, even those clefs apart, and combine them in creative ways that produce deep, harmonious symphonies. In history, we discovered the importance of learning from our mistakes, as well as the importance of immortalizing the moments that are significant to us and make us who we are. Speaking of immortalizing moments, I finally got a phone! Yeah, I know. I went through all of high school without one, and it was actually thanks to Liam. He won a contest and he gave it to me. Shout out to him. So, in the spirit of immortalizing moments, I was hoping you'd all do me the honor of joining me for my first new phone selfie. I'll come up stage and I'll take a little selfie of the crowd. If you could just have the lights up for a quick second. Yeah, this might take a while.
I know, you were healthy, great, it was 12 minutes. This is like an exercise.
Say cheese. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay. Make sure you reblog that on Twitter. It'll be on Kitty's Twitter account, so yeah, you're on that. And in English, we learned empathy when we lived 100 different lives through the characters we read about in stories. It also enabled us with the skills to articulate all of this, these timeless lessons that weave seamlessly through all aspects of our life. And finally, in Tim Hortons, we learned patience as we waited through lines despite being late for class. Though we were never late on Fridays because I was free breakfast club day. Thank you, Mr. All these hidden lessons we carry with us, thanks to Central. Now, before I go, I want to personally thank all the teachers and staff for continually inspiring each and every one of us, for their unequivocal understanding, and basically for putting up with all of us. And I want to thank all of you, the students, my friends, for the amazing memories and laughs. To be chosen by such wonderful, kind people to speak and try to represent how wonderful the class of 2015 is was an indescribable privilege. There is no end to the praises I could say about all of you. I want to thank you for teaching me, just as any teacher did, about life, about the value of kindness, not just to others, but to ourselves. Because being kind to others is easy. Sometimes it's being kind to yourself that can be hard. If there's one lesson we're all still learning, it's be kinder to yourself, and then let your kindness flood the world. Thank you. Wait. Also, none of you are leaving here tonight until I get a hug, okay?